The Odyssey, humanity's journey between loss and the search for meaning. Imagine fighting in a war that lasts 10 years, surviving as a victor, only to find yourself trapped in a journey home that lasts another 10 years. Not just a voyage across the sea, but a voyage deep into the soul, where fate collides with willpower, weakness with strength, and humanity with the gods. This is the Odyssey, one of the greatest human epics ever written by Homer more than 2,700 years ago. It is not merely the story of a hero named Odysseus trying to return to his homeland. It is a mirror of every human journey, confronting the unknown, battling desires and fears, and searching for home, for love, and for the self. The story. The beginning, an end to war, the start of a journey. After the Trojan War ends, Odysseus sets sail with his men back to Ithaca, where his faithful wife Penelope and young son Telemachus await him. But the anger of certain gods, chief among them Poseidon, god of the sea, turns the journey into a chain of disasters. Encounters with giants and monsters. The Cicones. The first trial comes against a fierce tribe where Odysseus loses some of his men, realizing that the road home will not be easy. The Lotus-Eaters. His men taste the flower of forgetfulness and lose all desire to return, nearly abandoning their home forever. Polyphemus, the Cyclops. One of the most dramatic moments of the Odyssey. Trapped in the cave of the one-eyed giant, Odysseus outsmarts him by claiming his name is nobody. But in a fatal moment of pride, he shouts his real name as he escapes, bringing down Poseidon's wrath, for Polyphemus was the god's son. Temptations of the sea and wrath of the gods. Aeolus, god of the winds, gifts Odysseus a bag of winds to aid his return. But his men, ignorant and greedy, open it, scattering them far from Ithaca. The Laestrygonians, a race of cannibals, destroy most of his fleet. Circe the sorceress turns his men into pigs, until Odysseus subdues her with cunning. She then becomes his ally, offering counsel for what lies ahead. A descent into the underworld. Following Circe's advice, Odysseus descends into Hades to consult the dead. There he sees his departed mother and speaks to the spirits of fallen Trojan War heroes. This dark episode mirrors humanity's confrontation with mortality and the fear of oblivion. Voices of temptation and death. The Sirens. Creatures whose enchanting song lures sailors to their doom. Odysseus orders his men to plug their ears, while he ties himself to the mast, longing to hear the voices, yet refusing to surrender. Scylla and Charybdis. Two sea monsters, one devours sailors, the other swallows the sea itself. Odysseus chooses the lesser loss, sacrificing a few to save the many. Years of captivity. Odysseus spends years on the island of Calypso, the nymph who loves him and offers him immortality if he stays. Yet he refuses the eternity of exile, choosing instead a mortal return to his homeland, choosing humanity over divinity. The return to Ithaca. With the help of Athena, goddess of wisdom, Odysseus finally reaches Ithaca in disguise. He finds his palace overrun with suitors, greedy men seeking Penelope's hand to claim his throne. Dressed as a beggar, he tests his wife's loyalty and patience. Her faith shines as she delays her decision through clever tricks. In a climactic scene, Odysseus takes up the great bow that no one but he can string. Revealing himself, he strikes down the suitors with Telemachus by his side, restoring order with strength and wisdom. At last, he is reunited with Penelope, husband, father, and king once more. A journey of 20 years ends, a path of suffering, but also of growth and discovery. Philosophical conclusion. The Odyssey is not just about sea voyages or clashes with gods and monsters. It is a profound allegory of the human journey through life. The sea is life itself, unpredictable, full of surprises, beyond control. The temptations represent human desires and impulses, which can make us forget our true purpose. The descent into the underworld reminds us that time is limited, that the value of the journey is not in survival alone, but in the wisdom we gather along the way. And the homeland is more than a place. It is a symbol of identity, belonging, and the love we long for. Odysseus is every one of us, sometimes lost, always struggling, falling and rising again, tempted and resisting, but in the end, seeking a harbor, a home that restores meaning. After thousands of years, the Odyssey remains the eternal epic of humankind's search for itself in a merciless world.